Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new
What?
thing that I'm doing. Ignore the voices. That's only I can hear them. This is a podcast for verses, namely for keeping people
Kill
caught up
everyone.
on things. That's why it's called Crossover Catchup. I am joined by my co-hosts, the Biff Weed and Whoand. Say hello, Biff Weed and Whoand.
Hello, it's me, Biffweed. I like Taiwan, and I can run people over vehicular manslaughter every time I take a walk. I mean, drive.
Who's and
I'm gonna run him over vehicular manslaughter.
Wait a minute. That's not Biff Weed and Whoand. Oh, I'm so silly. That's Gumball Viking and Hype Roosterman.
All right, Nemesis. Okay,
Okay,
that's how
we're
you're
doing
gonna
that
do
now.
us. Yeah.
So, if you don't get what this is, do you remember
Um.
a couple of years back when I said I'd never do a podcast? No, you don't, because that video is deleted because it was terrible and bad. Um,
But
it
also,
might not be
whenever that
deleted. I
one
don't remember.
video where well, there was also this one video where me and Hyper were doing a Steven versus Star prediction, and now we're back for this. There is no correlation between the two, but that was the last time all three of us were in a video together, and now you remember because I have reminded you. And
Are you
that's a
sure? Are you
crossover
sure
catch
that's the
up.
last time?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the last time, like in terms of like all of our voices being the same video.
Are you sure about that?
You record.
rankings? The rankings.
I know he edited for them. I don't
So
remember he had a
Gumball
voice
here,
cameo.
Yes, he did
Gumball here,
twice.
not like 5 minutes ago, was like, "Oh, Nemesis, how can you not remember the important details of the?" I'm trying to do like a fucking weird Germanic accent. It's not coming off correctly. You remember
It
the
is
fucking
not.
details of the fucking ranking, mate? You don't fucking remember that. And I'm here sitting like,
I'm too
Gumball.
busy. I, I'm
Oh,
too. I'm.
oh. How
I'm.
fitting it is that
No, no,
Phoenix
no.
Wright is currently in the chat because that was a turnabout.
All right.
You walked
All
into
right.
that
You
one
want?
like
All
El
right. You want to
Tigre.
see?
I didn't even do anything. That was all on you.
Oh, oh, we're bringing in El Tigre. I'm gonna ricochet that shit, man. Don't even. And see, and this is what we call cohesive banter.
So, we are going to be talking about crossover stuff. Now, the title of this
A
video,
variety of things.
the title of this video will probably have something to do with the Death Battle 1 Minute Melee news. Because that is the current thing that's being talked about. I have no idea when this video is actually going to come out. It might be a week old by the time this video actually drops. But that is the major thing that has happened.
Uh-huh. And so, first and foremost, let us go to news now. And first and foremost, Chad has a kitty cat. It is
That is
really
true.
cute and fluffy.
He has a
Yep,
cat.
That
and
and
that's
that
all
is
the
some
news that happened in Death Battle.
that
Nothing
is the
else.
most important piece of news. We are still completely in the dark. They did not
Technically,
add anything else. They just
that is
showed us a
the
minute of this cat.
only news, if we're being honest. But I haven't actually checked what the current how the reaction to that has developed since the video dropped. Have you guys been keeping up with that? Because I've been really busy with things. I've not really been
So
hardly
the
been
inner,
distracted.
so like jokes aside, the inner circles are really confident in Death Battle's chances. They are put at ease. Everyone's calm.
I'm not laughing at you.
Uh,
I just think the phrase
that's
"inner circles" like we're some sort of Illuminati society. The inner circles will be with the High
they're
Council.
not like us. They're
Yeah.
not
The
like
High
us.
Council
They're not
announces
normal.
Inner Circle 17.
They're not as enlightened.
The fucking
I,
Gestapo for
I,
PNG. That's us.
I think the funniest thing I found during like reactions was when I saw that video and like he made that Assassin's Creed joke. It's like, oh man, I can't wait for someone on Reddit to make is like Assassin's Creed next season and guess exactly what happened. It's not even good. Just not telling you guys. That's literally what happened.
Yeah, why are we doing this thing? For what community?
So yeah, the current news with Death. The notable thing, I think, I swear that they said keep an eye on the channel during that video. That's something noteworthy.
The main three words Yeah, the main three words that they have said are "we're not done," and that is enough to put the community at ease.
I really
And
appreciate what they're doing, trying to look for the best choice instead of the first choice in terms of what they should do. I'm not surprised that they're doing that. I want to
because
say I'm
I
surprised the
mean,
community didn't expect them to do that, but no, I'm not surprised the community assumed they would just immediately go for the first option.
because the community is way more desperate than the showrunners. I'm gonna be a bit real here. Nothing against you guys. I understand that this is really important to them, but from the project, but like the difference in perspective here. One side is, oh, this is my favorite show, and the other side is, this is my fucking job. All right. So obviously, one approach is going to be way more careful than the other.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
I swear there was news about Ruby too, but that's not really relative to this. That's just kind of
Ruby
to
got
this.
Ruby got acquired by a different studio. That's the TLDR. That one
Yep.
has been certified, confirmed,
I
save.
am very
So
excited
your Abridged series is
to
gonna pop the
yeah.
fuck off.
I'm very excited to continue a bridge.
I
You're right.
That's literally look. As much as I do personally still love Ruby and still want to see it end, most of my excitement for a new volume comes from what can I do with this? What are you gonna let me cook with? All right, what's my ingredients here? What's the sauce
My
that
my
you're
excite
supplying? And then they give me no sauce, and it's like I gotta supply that myself. But at least I got some medium
if you
medium rare chicken.
if you run out of if you run out of sauce, I can do some combo compilations and cross tag battle.
That no, I've got a guy that can 3D animate short bits for me if I really need it. But
Well, I'm learning Blender. I can replace him.
yeah, you know him.
Hmm.
You know he's better than you. But now, you never know where you might be in. I mean, for one
For
thing, you don't know
legal
where you could be in a
reasons,
couple
this
of
is a
months, let alone a
joke.
couple of years.
We're not actually trying to replace you, person that we know.
Hyper
Anyway,
looks
that
lost,
is
and I can't even see his face. I can just tell telepathically that he looks lost
speaking
right now.
speaking of clever segues. So that's not the only versus show that decided, yes, we're alive actually. There's this really obscure one. I'm not sure if people heard of. It was called Singular Moment Kerfuffle, I believe.
right.
The parody of 1 Second Punch Out, former show on my channel that might be coming back in the future. You never know. There's some news now
I
for you.
don't.
There's some news I'm just dropping here that I've only dropped in like one server. And 1 Second Punch Out, the show I made, might be coming back. The show everyone remembers because the fights are 1 second long. So there's so much in
It's
them.
so memorable.
Except
Doesn't
Flash Sonic,
require
which
many
is literally 1 frame
resources.
long.
I mean, also like it's also it's 1 second punch out. That doesn't require many resources at all.
No, it literally
So why did
it stopped because all the episodes got lost and my hard drive broke down a couple years back. So I didn't have the motivation to go start them up again. But now
that is perfectly reasonable.
we have.
Speaking of stuff that got lost, Madara versus Aizen, I think that was a big reason why 1 Minute Movie stepped out to begin with. There was a lot of things, but that is the big public one that they're willing to share. That a lot of the fight was lost, so they're trying to redo it, and we're seeing snippets of that in real time, which look really nice, by the way.
Yeah. Madara Aizen Part 2 is all we know. Right now, they've not... Like, obviously, all they've revealed is a little bit where Madara's on the floor and Aizen gets up ready to give him some back shots. That's all we've seen, publicly, with the announcement
Love
that
the
Madara is
wording.
coming back. Thank you. And that was the most news broadcast thing, I think, that just happened just then. I'm talking, a guy's like, I like how you said that, and I'm like, thank you. Then I keep going. That was very news broadcasty. I don't know how the news
Not believe
so-
they actually came back after all that time. There's like actually news. I won't see it until I believe it when that actually releases because that is just wow.
Speaking
I
of
want to
seeing,
tell you, Hyper, that if seeing's believing, then they're the ones.
All right, so speaking of 1 Minute Melee, during the hiatus, I'm not sure how many people know about this, but Origin uploaded a video of Garnet versus Gotenks that I'm pretty sure was intended to be 1 Minute Melee, but the hiatus got in the way, so he just decided to upload it on his own channel. So if you guys want to see a 1 minute melee episode,
So,
Okay.
okay.
honestly, when you said I wasn't sure of how many people
Another-
knew this, I thought you were going to be talking about the other thing. So we're not going to talk about that. Let's move on. So,
Okay.
long story short, basically, I still don't know what I'm going to title this video, but Death Battle 1 Minute Melee will probably be in the title because that'll get more attention. Death Battle is currently in a state where things are looking good. Things are looking good based on what we know. They could just have really good poker faces and be lying out their assholes, but I have more faith in them than that. And 1 Minute Melee does look like it's supposedly, in a hypothetical world, coming back. We don't know.
I can't believe they're bringing back the milk.
Crazy.
1 minute melee has a better track record than my dad.
There are several other versus shows that haven't released anything in months, but I don't think there's any news from them.
There is something a bit more recent, probably not within the 2 weeks range, but so people who know Skye, formerly known as TehGM, they have a versus show called Versus Universe, and they have announced their new episode that is currently in production. That is Meru M versus Cell. A track for that dropped recently, so I imagine an episode shouldn't take too much longer to follow suit. I haven't been keeping up with their release schedule, to be fair, but that is something to keep an eye out for if you're a fan of Versus Universe.
Yep, and speaking of that track, let's just go straight to the next segment.
The next segment is Versus Void.
Yep.
You're so you're so good at this.
No, I knew that. I was hoping someone would pick up what I was putting down. I knew it would be hyper. I knew it would be hyper. I knew that Gumball wouldn't do it.
I was waiting. Like I was looking. I had the doc open.
Listen.
I had the
Gumball.
doc open.
Listen, Gumball. We're both stupid,
right
but
now.
I'm not as stupid as you. Okay,
Slightly
I am the
Bro,
reality check here.
That's the scale.
This is
slightly faster.
This
Hyper
is not stupidity. This is being polite. All right.
So yes,
You
next segment,
fucking
which is
dick.
currently on screen, is Versus Void. This is where we'll talk about new episodes that have come out. I was expecting there to be a little bit on this, and I was correct. There is a little on this because
As in one.
I went
It's
and I
just
went
one.
and looked, and there really aren't many Versus shows that are currently still. I mean, they're probably still working on things, but they're not getting new episodes out. A little surprising.
All right. So, anyway, for all of you people who are ready to enjoy this summer, shut up. It's Halloween now because this is the debut episode, I believe, of a brand new versus show by Max. Who is Max? He's Max. You should know already.
He's the
Everyone
Galaxy
knows
Video
Max.
Max.
You know.
I mean, how would you not know? He's the Maximilian.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's the one with
So,
the tooth gap in the avatar and the big smile.
Yeah.
All right.
Star on
A
shirt.
bit further of a background check. Despite already having his own versus show, some people might recognize him more because he was an editor for Death Battle at the tail end of season 10, where he
And
got to do two of
A
his
lot
most
people
wanted,
popped up
and
for him.
Goku versus
Yeah.
Superman.
A lot of people popped up for him showing up. I want to note that
Yeah, this is
the episode where he
big
first
name in the community.
was put in the credits. Biff told me, pay attention to the episode. It's going to be in the last place you look. And I said, well, the last place I look is the credits. And then I did. And then I just kind of let him on for 10 minutes. But, yes, this is the debut episode of Spooky Showdown by Max. The Leprechaun
a versus show.
Warlock. It's a show about
This is a
horror
versus
matchups.
show. I keep trying to talk, Nemesis. You're taking this away from me. This is all I have.
That was 50%
Anyway, yeah.
Yoma laugh, that one.
That actually was. Oh my god.
He doesn't go
Spooky
hee,
Showdown,
hee,
yeah.
hee. He says nee hee 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 because it's inspired off a horse for some reason. Or a donkey. An
Hee-ho.
equine.
Hee-ho.
But yes, have either of you watched it? The first episode?
It-
I'm not a horror guy, but I do intend to watch it soon because Max is just a really cool person. And when it comes to like projects that he's a part of, you can really feel the passion in his work.
Would you
So
be
who
more
knows?
inclined to watch it sooner if I told you the whole fight was hand drawn?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
oh, that
is.
sounds.
It is.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds.
So
That,
I don't want to just go straight to the fight because I want to credit the analysis too. I really like the analyses. I think he did a great job making it very max coded. I guess it has the max energy. You know, like
Hmm.
if you've watched enough
He's a
of
big
Max,
horror guy. You
if you
can.
watch enough of stuff with Max, you kind of get the vibe for what he like how he talks, and it has a lot of the charm that Max has, and I like that.
pure, pure, unfiltered
Yeah, he's
enthusiasm,
having a lot of fun,
which I
and
think
that's
is.
great.
I think the best thing about verses is that enthusiasm is hardly scarce. Everyone is enthusiastic about something, and people like Max are able to channel it in a really creative and fun way. And that's
Yeah,
something I feel like should be highlighted more often in the community, which is why we have this podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the first episode. I think he handled both characters well. I like the rhyming gimmick he went with a few times with the leprechaun because it fits with him. I really like seeing Warlock analyzed because like I swear I've watched the first film, not the sequels. I don't remember too much from it. I might go rewatch it actually. But I like seeing those things. I mean, you might know just from seeing the lineup that my versus show has. I like seeing things you wouldn't normally see in versus, analyzed in versus, as long as it fits. Just not used because it's like more niche or obscure. Um, the part where I like things that as long as they fit might not necessarily apply to my show, but uh, I liked seeing it
I
because Leprechaun I think
I like
is
seeing the I like seeing the video game clips.
yeah, that was interesting. I totally blanked that there were games connected to Warlock. Genuinely, I did. I
Yep.
knew there was a comic, but I thought it was just like the films on the comic. I didn't know there was anything more because like Warlock's not a franchise you hear about these days at all.
Hmm.
And I'm very excited.
I was very caught off guard by that, but that was really cool.
Yeah, and the
All right,
fight
so
was just entirely hand drawn.
Like
And
for a first episode, that's really ambitious, and I give I give massive props to that. That's really cool.
yeah, I really like the
all
fight.
right, so I don't want to take too much attention away from Skye real quick because we've been gushing about Max for a while, but Versus Universe is also a really unique one. You don't really get animation, but they're able to analyze characters in a different way. And I think there's a lot of people who are burnt out in the traditional sense of how people do verses. And that's where Versus Universe comes in my opinion, because the angle there is way more unique from other versus shows, and obviously all the tracks are the ones that they do themselves, which I think is a huge plus. Well, when we get to talk about that later, I absolutely will. But Skye is a musician first and foremost for the versus music, and they just announced a original album coming out sometime soon. And whenever versus people try to make original music, it doesn't perform as well as I think it should.
Which is
So I
why
want to
when
make
it's
sure
out,
attention
we're
is
going
brought towards
to
that.
shout it out here. We're going to talk about it on this, even if it's not really fitting for the format and what we talk about. It'll still be mentioned because why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And well, this isn't a versus show in particular. This is something that you guys
No,
know
this is a
Sun Mellows,
podcast.
right?
Oh,
You guys know Sun Mellows.
do I know Sun
You know
Mellows?
Sun Mellows?
What a good question. That's a great question.
Well,
Hmm.
What a
Sun Mellows
mystery
are
this is.
friends. Okay,
Hmm.
all right. Rhetoric aside, Sun Mellows and some friends. I admittedly forgot the names off the top of my head, but they have been working on a fashion project for Shadow versus Mewtwo for a while. And I saw some works in progress on Twitter a while ago, and I figured we should give some attention to that when we get
They
there.
didn't invite me.
And this will not be the. Oh, that's a shame. But this is not the last time we will be talking about Mewtwo versus Shadow in the podcast foreshadowing.
Uh,
Um,
should we bring up what's happening with Sun Mellows?
Yes, I believe we should.
I think that would
So
be...
their financials.
Yeah.
All right, so America is not a good place to live in because natural disasters are a dime a dozen. You can have, so there's this one area called Tornado Alley, and Sun Mellows was caught up in all of that, and now they are in a huge financial situation, which we have been able to bring attention to in the past, but obviously the situation has not been resolved yet.
Yeah.
Feel free to talk, guys.
I was thinking of just putting the link to help her out on screen for the whole video. Just for anyone who wants to help and all that. There you go.
This is going to a really good cause to help a really good person.
Because we love her. She's great. And needs help. And we should help. And it would be cool.
I'm giving her a lot of money, big money, for a thing I'm working on to a bunch of people, actually, because I'm insane.
But not
I'm
me.
not going to plug it in.
But not me. Yeah, not me.
Oh, okay.
Not giving me any money, huh? I mean, you're not giving me money. I mean, not that I refuse to give her money. That's not what I mean.
Oh, okay. I was really confused.
No, you didn't ask me. I bet that you didn't ask me to help.
I would like money, but obviously
No.
someone else deserves it first.
People doing things and not asking me for help. That's the running thing.
Yeah, no, but like, I'll when that if you've been paying attention to my Twitter, if that thing ever releases, I'm absolutely gonna advertise it here, even if it has nothing to do with Versus, because my God, it's been worked on for years, and
yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, no, you're right.
No,
If anything, I think
cool.
it's something that should be directly kept out of Versus, and that is the opinion.
I mean, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Let's not talk about that. Anyways,
All right. Now
support her. She deserves the money.
Yep. But the way you guys talked about that just gave me a funny story. So
what a story.
No.
Little Gator game, right? It's a wonderful indie game about a little kid, crocodile kid, doing make-believe Zelda to try to get the attention of her sister who's working on a college project. It's a full-scale Breath of the Wild kind of game. It's really adorable, and I recommend everyone play it. But I was like, oh my God, if Versus the Bitters get their hands on this thing, they're going to be like, who's this kid's best matchup? So 5 minutes later, I'm streaming this to people, right? And someone's like, oh, this is a cute game. What's his best matchup? No, some guy enters, and he's like, oh, this is a cute game. What's their best matchup? And I was like,
shut the fuck up. Please commit vow of silence on yourself. Just cease talking. Never speak again.
No. See, I'm gonna take you to Fortnite. I'm gonna take you to Fortnite, make you equip that tomato skin, and then eat a pizza so you can watch me eat your family alive.
First of all, that threat only works on me, and I have done no wrongdoing in this story. You're not paying attention. Secondly, do the threat anyway. That's funny. I want to join in on you. So anyway, we're going to just cohesively and not awkwardly transition into our next subject here.
To say that, I was in the middle of talking about Max's episode when you interrupted, and I was okay with that because, you know.
Oh, I didn't realize. My bad.
Because I wanted to shout out that the animation is very good. Of course, it's not perfect. That's how all things are. But I am generally less critical on shows that don't have the large budget that Death Battle does. Because people underestimate how big the budget Death Battle actually is, while also some other people overestimate it at the same time. I have a good idea just from my brain power. I can guesstimate how much the budget is. I can't confirm because I don't work on the show. But I have an idea what it probably is, just using my mind.
Infinity dollars.
It's I can guess. That's really all I can do though. But I can see why the issues in his animation exist. Really the only issue is that the hands kind of are the wrong one every now and again. I know why though. But it's really not that big a deal. I think that the animation is really fun, and he does a lot of really fun stuff with their abilities and what they can do. And you can tell in the animation he's having a lot of fun just writing it and coming up with ideas on what to do. And I would recommend everyone go watch it, support his new show. It's fun. And we're gonna transition on to the next segment without bringing up that I have a new episode that's just recently come out within the span of time for this thing, and we're gonna talk about Music Moment.
I wonder what this segment's about.
It is obviously
Music
about blogs,
moment.
so we're gonna start with the two.
And by blog, we mean like the blobfish, the ones that like have their bodies exploding above
Yeah.
the surface. But this time we're looking at the ones
blobfish.
underwater this time because
The famous
blogfish.
South American blogfish.
Mm-hmm. And
I just noticed that that blog you tried to plug in earlier, it actually got removed again, and I don't know why.
Wait, what?
I was about to.
Hold on.
Well, no, that's foreshadowing. That's foreshadowing. There's more important things to tend to.
Yes.
So, Music Moment.
This is where we talk about music.
Music Moment is dedicated. Yep, it's dedicated to music that is released recently, or stuff that is by lesser known versus music creators. So
We're gonna start with.
consider this your recommendation and your warning.
We're gonna start with just the two major names, first, and then go into stuff after, just to get your attention. This is what the things you probably listen to. It's probably playing right now because Brandon has given me express permission to use any of his tracks as long as I credit him. So he's put. I mean, he just put one out today that I've not put on here, and I don't want to, because then I'd have to go grab it. But I'm gonna actually, because why not? That is the wrong link. I said that with the same inflection I always say that I'm a sane man in. His newest track as of recording this. What am I saying? I did put it in. I'm just going senile.
I put it in.
No, you put it in. Yeah. Thank
It
you.
was-
His newest track is Rise of the Evil Dead. Ash Williams versus Frank West. I do not know.
A particularly
if these
popular matchup, isn't it?
numpties have listened to it. I know that they've not listened to most of these, so it comes down to me to talk about it. Of course, we can also talk about the matchups as well, not just the songs. Rise of the Evil Dead's a pretty good song. I enjoyed it. It was a good track.
So, the Death Battle Wiki in particular, the Discord server, they love Evil Dead. And
Yeah, I know.
I have seen them.
In general,
I would say sing the praises.
Deadlock.
I would say sing the praises. I haven't seen them actually talk about the matchup. They just did that one gif of, well, if it isn't Mr. Fancy Pants over and over, which is, I'm just going to assume their way of communicating to each other. Like a little bit of Morse code, but Ash Williams is there.
Yeah. Let's go with that. I'm not the biggest fan of the matchup. I don't hate it. I just don't know Frank West well enough. I would want someone I like as much as Ash to fight a character I know well. I get it.
I know
get
Frank
it.
West.
They're silly. They're goofy. They kill a lot of zombie. Kind of. Not really with Ash, if I'm being honest, but, they're close enough to a Zambi.
I don't know Ash as well. Does he have? I know he has like a chainsaw.
He's got a
and,
chainsaw,
like,
he's
the
got a
he-
really
he-
sharp
he-
knife, and he's got a book that he can't really use because it's not really his thing.
Okay.
Again, I'm not a horror person. Dead Rising looks really fun, though.
It
I
is.
get the vibe of the fight. I can understand how it would be fun. At the same time, I don't know if Frank West is the kind of character you bring back twice for Death Battle.
I think-
Mm,
I think you can justify
I
it
think it would
by
be
just
weird
sheer
if of the two characters in that episode, the first one to come back is Frank West and not literally Leon from Resident Evil.
I hear ya, but
I'm
I'm
also,
probably like one of 5 people who prefer Frank over Leon.
I'm not really too bothered. I will say that there is something to be said about how when you bring Dead Rising back, you really are just going to bring back Frank. You bring Resident Evil back, you've got a ton of options. Just off the top of my head, you got Chris, you got Jill, you got me. You got plenty of options from Resident Evil. You don't really have that for Dead Rising, to my knowledge.
Well, I mean, in 2 and 3, they have their own main characters.
Hey, did you know that Dead Rising
that
has
nobody
the same initials as
cared?
Danganronpa?
I that's part of the reason why I started to get into DR, because I was a Dead Rising fan first, and
Oh, anyway.
we move on to the next one.
Next one is Your Mum Is Everything, which sounds more like an insult than a name, and that's from two characters I don't know, because I've not seen Everything Everywhere All at Once yet.
I have. I can vouch for this one. This is a
Wait.
not the match. Just the
Oh my god, I
character.
thought you were joking. Wait, it literally is called Your Mom Is Everything?
Yeah.
So, Evelyn is an amazing character. Someone who has been through so much in a short amount of time. The whole multi thing.
Yeah, well, don't spoil it for me, because I will watch it. I do intend to.
All right, I'm not going to spoil it. It's just that amazing character, and I really like the track that comes with it. There's just like
Do you know the other character?
This sounds way more upbeat than I imagined.
that's
This will be
because
playing
Evelyn,
as
like
well.
as a character. Alright, so without spoiling anything, Evelyn as a character at her core is the importance of optimism, and I think the track reflects that really well. She is.
I see like half the designs in. I see like I see like half of that like ever. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I completely. You can go on.
All right, so
if either of you
I do.
read or watched Two Hit, that's not really the name of the series, but the name of the series is very long.
Well, I do not know the other character
Let me
at
ask
all.
you a question. Do you love your mom and her 2-hit multi-target attacks? That's the name of the fucking story.
Okay.
And the fact that it
I
starts
really
with
hope
Do
the
You Love Your
sequel-
Mom and it is also Japanese has me a little bit concerned. But
I
will
wouldn't
refrain
worry
from
if it's
judging.
like
I
an
will
Evelyn kind of
refrain
thing.
From judging, because
Okay.
it's only got 5 volumes of manga. I might actually be able to just read through that and just get my opinion.
Alright.
And see
So
whether
any-
or not I should be worried.
So, if you guys haven't caught up yet, this was the track intended for Mother's Day.
No shit.
It
Joe.
came out the day after. Which is
2 days
why I
after
feel
me.
like we should have brought attention to.
We have the next one is Embers of Chaos, Shadow versus character who I can see 2 ways to pronounce the name of, and I don't know which one is correct. From Freedom Planet. We asked a Freedom Planet expert their opinion on this matchup, and the song is playing, and the song is pretty fun. I don't think any of these songs are bad. Should I just read the opinion out, or just summarize it?
Sure. You can read it
I
out.
mean, you read it out, you just go for it.
Well, basically, I won't just read it all out because it would take a bit, and I would want to do it in the Chill's voice again. But basically, no one be confused by why I said again there. It does have a theme. It looks like the theme is fairly strong, though has big Freedom Planet 2 spoilers, which I'm sure would matter if I was ever going to play it. But it looks like the general idea from Freedom Planet Expert Kun is it's understandable, but not necessarily what you'd want for the Freedom Planet character in terms of fight dynamic, even if it could work. But also, it's another fucking Sonic versus Freedom Planet matchup, which, as far as I'm aware, is not the least common combination of series. Which is where you would then say something yourself.
It do exist. It do exist. Like, I don't really have much of a.
I really
opinion
want-
on
I
it.
really
It
wanna get-
exists.
I really want to get into Freedom Planet sometime.
I did. It was pretty fun. It was. There's a lot of shocking moments in it that you wouldn't expect, but it is.
I would expect that.
It's fun.
I do know
The
Freedom Planet's minor reputation for incredible mood whiplash.
The extent of my knowledge is that the most watched cutscene from one of the games is not a good reflection of the fan base. And we'll leave it at that.
I don't like the sound of that. That displeases me. You said so little and so much at the same time.
Alright.
And I'm just
anyway.
disappointed.
Alright, anyway, Purple
next
Heart
one.
game.
No,
Purple
the
Heart
next one.
game
The next
start.
one, because I'm gonna ignore the order I put them in the document. I'm looking at the channel. Is Restart Subaru vs Kazuma Part 2. This is a way better track than Part 1. This is way better than Zero Luck. I think Brandon would agree with me too. Not just because it's newer, but also I don't think he's necessarily the happiest with how that one came out, just because he's such a big ReZero guy. He's not a big Konosuba guy. He's not a fan of Konosuba, which I totally get. But he's a big ReZero guy, and I imagine he's a lot happier with how this one came out. And I do, like I said, I think it's way better, and I think the track art is amazing. And I think the name is better too, honestly. I think everything
It's
is
really,
better.
it's a big blow up. I really enjoyed it.
It's a very good track.
Konosuba tracks. Despite Yates not liking Konosuba that much, I think the tracks have a pretty good track record. But
If we weren't going for alliteration, we could have called this segment Track Record, but
oh my god, that's such a missed opportunity.
Music moment goes hard. Sorry, music moment, it goes hard.
Moment
You can't change it.
The track record can be the subtitle.
Alright. I guess there's not much for me to say here. Yates knows his ReZero, not Konosuba, but the end result is basically an improvement in every way. I'm not really sure what to add.
Yeah. And then there is Purple Heart Game Start, Neptune versus X8, which does tickle my Kamen Rider brain that's currently in hyperdrive right now.
And my Kamen Rider brain, that only has 6 episodes, and it's not even of this series.
Oh, I've
I
not
just
seen
like
any
it.
of X8 like in full episodes. Right now I've seen Double, Kuga Agito, and I've seen Kamen Rider the First, which is a film reboot of the original series. I've not seen the sequel film to it. But right now, if anyone can hear the rustling, that is the Kamen Rider X8 Action Gamer Level 2 Figurized Standard Plastic Model Kit. I said that so fast and so smoothly, and it is just come in today. And it is, I think, the second or third model kit in the Figurized line, which means the fact that I was able to get it for relatively cheap is really surprising, considering the fact that right now one of the most recent ones, Kiva, goes for like $100 right now, and Ryuki goes for like $200 for some godforsaken reason, even though he's only like the second most popular that they've done. I don't get it, but I'm collecting Kamen Rider model kits, and I'm gonna build this in like 2036 when I get to X8.
And meanwhile, Hyper Neptune just has a lot of versus, doesn't she?
Yeah. Maybe I should get into Hyperdimension.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who she is. But obviously people like her a lot if he's gonna keep showing up this frequently, so...
Is that the one where like the characters are based on consoles?
Yeah, I think it is.
Cool.
No, wait, no, there's a Therewolf Tracks.
They should fight the
There was
Sega. They should fight the Sega Hard Girls. That's how. Wait, no, that was a crossover. That happened as a crossover. That's a game.
Yeah, and there was a Therewolf track for it already, of Neptune versus Sega Saturn, which is really funny without any context.
Wait. Oh no, I get it. I get it. Because I really like the Sega Hard Girls anime. It is a shitpost in anime form, and that is brilliant. It's great. It's literally just entirely animated in MMD and machinima style editing that into an existing game. Like, it is so low budget that aside from the one episode that's very displeasant, it's a very fun time. Just to see what is... There's literally just an episode that's focused on the fact that one of the girls' heads is so fucking dense that she can KO anyone with a headbutt. So she's like
The Tanjiro Hamada technique.
it's like half as dense as a versus debater. It's crazy. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Neptune's
I
X8
don't have
is a
much
good
to
matchup.
say. Yeah, I don't have much to say. I just think it
track.
sounds cool.
Then there's Slayer in Chief. George Washington Zombie Slayer versus Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Brilliant matchup.
I'm just gonna have to. Yeah. It's not a track that I particularly enjoy, but I gotta give props for the matchup.
The track is fine. I think it's a bit repetitive to me. The prompt is just America though, so that's probably why. Yeah, but the matchup.
Well, Hyper, you're an American. You can give your opinion on this.
I just eat chocolate. That's
Alright,
American,
and the last
I
one is
guess.
the vocal version of Symphonic Eruption. If anyone remembers, Symphonic Eruption was one of my favorite instrumental tracks of the ranking that it showed up in. I will be getting to doing a ranking for the rest of the 2023 stuff that wasn't there in my last ranking. And then 2024 can be its whole ordeal when we get to the halfway point in like 15 days. The vocal version's good. I might prefer the instrumental just because I really like the instrumental. But I might give it a few more listens to, and I might come around to it. I probably will. I don't know Cross Z very well. I say that as if I know Hibiki Tachibana any better.
Yeah, I don't have any real experience with either franchise, so I can't really say whether a track or matchup is good because I do not know these characters.
And then unfortunately, Garden of Mad World, which I've not listened to yet, and I hope is good, I just hope is good, is a little bit too old for this, which is a shame because I do really like that matchup. Ah well, too bad.
It's
You're
a
gonna have
good
to wait
thing
for me
there's
to rank it.
it's a good thing that there's other versus artist people that we can talk about.
Indeed, we can
so
move on
Therewolf
to...
wrapped up a round of. So Therewolf wrapped up his round of commissions recently, but we have it in the thing.
I have not listened to them.
Ah,
because
fuck.
I ran out of time.
Is Link vs. Sora over 2 weeks old? God damn
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
These will be playing. Ain't Afraid to Shake Loose, Ghostbusters vs. Beetlejuice, which was commissioned by our boy Galaxy Video Max. It is.
I wonder who that guy is.
It is the Ghostbusters versus Basil guys. And yeah, I mean it's a fun enough matchup that I had a lot to say about the one time they did it in Galaxy Grudge match, and I just got really fed up with some of the arguments that were being made in the Ghostbusters' favor.
Well, now that I am reading Ghostbusters, or at least the comments people are saying about Ghostbusters, apparently IDW is insane. I'm not touching and that quite yet, especially since
I was mostly talking about
IDW?
things like they beat Cthulhu and they beat gods in the cartoon. It's like that's not really true. The best you can say is in Extreme Ghostbusters, the traps that exist there, the circle trap, can capture gods who are weaker than Beetlejuice. So, like, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, they also beat a god in the 2009 video game. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, but
I
the
pick
god
up
that is
on
weaker
that.
than Beetlejuice. So,
I don't like thinking that. That feels weird.
So anyway, the track. So I know there's a lot more going into it, but the main thing that I was like thinking about, like, oh, so this is a Ghostbusters track. Therewolf, you understand the assignment, right? And he said, "Fuck yeah, I do."
I would play it right now to listen to it myself, but I don't want to put it in the audio track for our voices because I want to like turn it down. I don't know if Therewolf has given me permission, but I'm hoping he doesn't get annoyed by this.
But yeah, Ain't Afraid to Shake Loose is a fucking banger. Gonna put that on the cusp of S tier. I think it does get a bit too random for me to listen to it like on loop that much, but it's still amazing. But the track that came right before is making me so upset I can't talk about it.
What, For the Radiant Dawn?
'Cause
Oh
it-
no, that's after, isn't it?
Yeah, the one that came right before is literally my favorite commission track of
Doesn't
all
matter.
time.
We have to talk about For the Radiant Dawn. Ike versus Hikari. I know Ike. He is the ether guy who likes to commit self-explosion off the bottom of the stage whenever you try to recover with him. That's him. That's the
He is-
guy.
My experience with Ike is that I carried someone off the stage and ended with an up B off stage, taunted. Another Ike next to me taunted, so I just did the exact same fucking combo.
I just follow those meme videos in Smash where he just does like he just drags you down to the ethers of the ether below, and I just do the same thing, and I think that's pretty funny.
I find it amusing that you have
I-
young Ike and old Ike in the same game. You've literally got the snotty boy glow up meme, but like in Smash Ultimate as a character.
And Hikari from
Octopath Traveler.
Octopath is something I want to get into. I really like Live Alive, and it's basically the same company, same aesthetic, but
Don't really know
But
anything about it. I know that it exists. I know that there's a guy called Hikari in it.
yep, the track is good.
I'm gonna look
Solid.
It up. I'm going to look up Octopath. It's a role-playing game by Square Enix. Okay, I've got to play it now.
Yep.
I literally just got through fucking Valkyrie Elysium, Star Ocean 6, and Diofield Chronicle, which are all like lesser known Square Enix role-playing games. Because there's like the two that matter, and then there's the other ones. And this is one of them, so I gotta play it now. I gotta find it. I gotta find Octopath Traveler. Ooh, I really like how this game looks.
Oh yeah, Live Alive is just like that. A lot of the remasters that
Now
they're
we're not
doing
talking about that, are we?
or well, I am. Anyway, track's good. I think this is like a solid B tier. I don't have any real attachment to the characters, so I don't have much to say.
I've not played any of the games that the people that work with Square Enix to make this have made. In fact, I barely recognize any of these. I recognize Divine Gate because there was a time where someone wouldn't shut up to me about it. And I think that's it.
Well, and then the last track, which is Do You Believe in Heaven, which is the really popular Joe Sona matchup, Poochie versus guy voiced by Billy, but I'm trying to remember his name.
You'll get there.
Maruki, yeah. This one definitely has that sense of scale because these two characters. You know what? That's a spoiler. I can't say.
I have played one Persona game, and that was Shin Megami Tensei 3, and I have watched up to JoJo's Part 4 and then stopped.
Wonderful.
So
What about you, Hyper? Hyper, Sweetie.
Huh?
Hyper, Sweetie Jr. literally forced you to go through all of JoJo, and you know Persona. What are your thoughts on the matchup?
My thoughts. See, JoJo is a series that took me 967 days to finish.
Weak.
So less days than it took for Kratos to come back to Item Shop.
I'm gonna kill you.
I don't know who you were talking to, but I think either one of us would have been fair there.
Anyways, my
You don't even know
thoughts
who
on
you
the
were
match.
talking to.
No, I know things. Yeah. Anyways, I know the deal
That is
about
a way
this.
to put that. Yes.
I know things. I certainly know things. I know this matchup, and I can get it. It's sort of like basically the I guess like spoilers or whatever. Basically them trying to create like a perfect society, like creating a brand new reality for people in a perfect world. Basically, it is basically how they do it. Though it's in a very different context. While Maruki wants to do it in a more hopeful but kind of warped perspective because it kind of robs them of like some of their freedoms, but he doesn't want to do it out of like ill intent because he genuinely wants to help them. Well, Maruki, I could go like on like paragraphs upon paragraphs on what the hell's wrong with him, but he does it so that people can know their fate and they can choose how they want to live their lives. And it's like, oh, that doesn't seem too bad, but the way he does it and how he gets there is kind of like, nah, he's kind of messed up.
I agree.
Anyways, yeah, I think the matchup's good. I think it fits both of them pretty fine.
Cool.
But there are way more than two people who do versus music in this community, obviously.
Let's talk about
so we're
the third
going
biggest one, I guess, next, who we've already talked about. But we're going to shout out the song now.
Predator or Prey. This is made by Skye for the upcoming Versus Universe episode.
It's for
this one's pretty lengthy.
It's for the episode 1 Minute Melee that nobody likes. And this is going to be infinitely better. And I'm talking about just the song, not even the episode. The song on its own is going to be infinitely better when you go listen to it. Because that 1 Minute Melee is shit. I've not set Skye a high bar to clear, but they have cleared several bars.
I think we're just going on about how excited people are finally coming back, man. Oh boy.
Look.
But
1 Minute Melee coming back, cool. That doesn't mean that, like, just like Death Battle coming back would be cool, doesn't mean there aren't episodes that are just shit. Yeah, when Death Battle Season 11 comes around, I'm hoping people aren't going to go, you can't just call Venom versus Bane shit. Do you have any idea what Death Battle just went through? I'm going to say, yeah. Do you have any idea what I went through watching that episode?
I'll have you, no matter what, till my dying breath, I will stand under Deco versus Asta. That's just who I am.
That's fair. Deco Asta is an episode that exists. But anyway, Predator or Prey, which I swear is the name of another commission track.
No, Predator and Prey.
Predator and Prey,
is
right.
Meta versus...
That's Meta versus Predator.
Yeah. Legally distinct.
That's the Medita.
Mm.
So, thoughts on the track, not the matchup, because we can ignore the matchup for what Versus Universe is.
I like it, obviously. So the thing about Skye is that they have a style.
Yes.
I think is the best way to describe Skye's music is that it's the easiest to define by the style. Given the nature of verses, you're going to have to jump through a whole bunch of different styles to match the series of characters. And Skye, I'm not going to say that they're incapable of different styles. Far from it. It's just that it's the most recognizable, and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, you know when a track
their
is
vocals
done by Skye.
are yeah.
Never mistake for anyone else, and that is very important. And especially when they're making their own original work, that's going to be a big boon. Just the fact that you're not going to get that sort of style from anyone else. It's them alone.
And that includes the vocals, really soothing vocals that even if people don't think it fits some of the tracks, I really do like, and I don't think they should be ashamed for sharing that.
No. The people who should be ashamed are the ones who committed the 7 life sentences worth crime of not getting this track over 1,000 views as of a week. That should not be allowed. That is illegal. That is crime in all 79 United States. I'm not sure how many there are. There's probably that much.
You're about 29 off.
There's 108? Jesus Christ.
Fix that.
All right.
No, I mean, in this part of the podcast, the silence isn't too bad because that's gonna be filled in with the track. And you can listen to it. Listen to it. That's what's on right now.
Yeah. When words aren't entering our brainwaves immediately.
You listen to the
get
words in the
track and you're like, "Ooh,
song!
yeah," and now we're talking over it like a bunch of pricks.
I've also just been looking at all of the Square Enix games that have come out since the thing that I was talking about. And I might actually just go play
Well,
all of
while
them
you-
because I think that'd be funny. No, I'd need to play Crisis Core Reunion. Never mind. Plan immediately just... I don't want to do
Well-
that.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to shout out someone else because there is someone other than Skye that I feel like is noteworthy to talk about. It's not so much a recent release. This isn't a recent release, but this is someone I have started listening to on my own without any prompt for a good while. Like, I will have the tracks on loop for a good while. And their name is Cryo. As in what they're doing to Walt Disney in the basement right now, Cryo.
Drop
So,
the track that you want
I
me to
wanna
put
highlight-
here in chat so I can just put it in.
Okay.
There's
I'm
no
gonna
point
highlight
advertising a
two tracks.
musician without showing the music, right? When we can and won't
Yeah,
get
that's right.
blasted by copyright.
So the first one I want to shout out is for Mewtwo versus Shadow. See, foreshadowing. I'm touching upon it too. Born
good
to
fun.
Destroy. It's actually a remake of the track they've already done. And it blew the original out of the water, which I already appreciated. But this has quickly becoming one of the most listened to versus tracks in general for me. And I think there are a few matchups where I can say that the track is able to encapsulate how much of a love letter it is to the characters of franchises, quite like this track. And I think the better way to really emphasize how amazing it is to really just to force you to listen to it on your own. I really don't know how to describe.
Unlike how we're forcing
Describing
you to
music's
listen to it
hard for
right now.
me. Yeah. Trying to describe music is difficult for me.
How do you think I feel? Making those fucking 100 entry rankings.
Well, this isn't about you, is it?
That's true, this is about Cryo.
This is about. Correct.
Their music good. I like the music. It's good.
I'm
Did I
gonna
say that
sneeze now.
sarcastically? No. I mean it like a lot. It's really good. You do great work, man.
Never mind, sneeze prevented. Sneeze not happening now. That's actually the worst. That is the worst fucking possible outcome. Oh no. Motherfucker. The worst outcome is sneeze happening, never mind.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
Now it's just in my
That's like your
snooker.
own. That's like the body just saying, "Go fuck yourself."
That is the wrong track, Gumball.
No, this is the other track. I was going to highlight two. This one is another Sonic matchup, Bring the World to Life. And this is Goku versus Sonic. 11 minutes in total, and it feels like it tells a story in itself. The
It's
first
Goku
part is
versus
really
Sonic.
high, energetic. High, energetic. The entire track is beautiful, but the beginning portion is my personal favorite because it sounds so optimistic and happy. And it feels like what spar that they're really getting into, and I really love how high and energetic it is. And then the track progresses, there's a key shift, and then it gets just more and more intense. It feels like it really sets us up to scale. And then the final part, where it's just kind of slow piano music, just really sets in suspense and respect for the two characters that have to each other. Some tracks tell a story, and I feel like this is a really, really amazing one that's able to manage to do that.
See, you
And-
sold that well.
To highlight one of the top comments, that someone, I'm not going to say their name, but someone said that they've never cried at a versus track until this one because there's so much emotion and passion tied to it. While I didn't cry to it myself, I can absolutely see why someone would. It is really moving as a track, way more than I would expect for a matchup that, truth be told, I do not like all that much.
Yeah, but
So I think that should make all the compliments all the more
Mewtwo Shadow is a cool
groundbreaking, I
matchup
think.
though, because we didn't talk about it.
Yeah,
That's
it
a cool
is.
matchup. I like that matchup. It's not my favorite for Mewtwo, but it is the one that I think is the best for Mewtwo. If you understand that logic, a lot of people don't get that you can have a personal favorite and also acknowledge that it's not technically the best. But this is probably the best one.
Yeah, I have a few of those.
Because it is
But
very
yeah.
much for anime Mewtwo. Because game Mewtwo is not a clone. He is a genetically modified baby. While Shadow is basically a clone of Black Doom, kind of, more or less. A weird
50-year-old
thing.
50-year-old fetus.
Maybe there is a matchup for game YouTube where it's like someone went into the womb of Jesus and altered the baby to make Super Jesus. That seems like it feels like a really specific thing, but that has to have happened elsewhere.
It's a Darkstalker stage. It's literally fetus of God.
Mewtwo can fight the whole fucking stage.
He'll probably lose, but okay.
And to anyone who makes music in verses, share it down below, and
let us.
we can share it.
Yeah, we tend to share a lot of music as time goes on. We're
Also,
not.
if you make
we're not,
versus
like,
episodes as well, if you have a versus show,
Mhm.
and it's still doing things,
you-
it's not dead in the water like a handful that I know, and used to know that aren't dead anymore. Do share that too.
Yep, the entire point of this is that we're going to be shouting out verses as much as possible from all corners of the community who are not
Yep.
toxic.
Yeah,
That
we're
is
gonna
an
ignore.
important disclaimer, not toxic.
We're gonna ignore that foul smell over in the back right corner. We're gonna head elsewhere.
And we're also ignoring Paw Patrol, even though there's a lot of genuine effort going into that versus show, which, you know what? Maybe we will shout it out sometime.
You
Because,
just did.
yeah, I guess we did.
I mean, I guess you did.
But
That
if-
show's just
if-
that's
if-
just funny.
If you've cooked
It's
versus,
an enigma.
then do share it, because we are hungry for more and to share. And to speak of hunger, what can help with hunger better than pasta?
Oh, I actually have pasta right next to me.
I know!
Well,
I put it there!
we're not talking about
with my mind!
we're not talking about your pasta, you fucking freak.
We're talking about a
talking
paragraph of it. Because this is paragraph pasta. And if you think that's a bad name, you can blame Hyper for it. But I think it's funny.
I mean, now that I have it right here in the palm of my hands, I feel like it was destiny to be called paragraph.
Why are you holding
Why are you
hands?
You know, you're
always
supposed
wanna
to
play
put it
with
in a
your
bowl. You know that, right? Maybe even a plate's fine.
I mean,
to be
it
honest.
is in a bowl. It is in a bowl. But I'm like
That just makes
holding
it
it like a
worse. Why-
chalice.
if it's already in a bowl, why are you just scooping it out with your hand?
I'm not scooping
keep
it out
it
with my
in
hand.
the
I have
bowl.
a fork.
Well, why aren't you using the
You
fork
said
then?
it's
Why
in
are
the-
you using your hand?
You said it's in the palm of your hand, you fucking contradict.
said
If you
the
have a bowl
contrarian.
and a fork, you should be using those things. We have utensils for a reason. We're not cavemen. This is
We
how,
have
this is how
technology.
fast America is. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I know it's pasta, but you don't need to make it pasta.
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking terrible.
Pasta.
Anyway, it's time for a different type of pasta. A
Now,
copy
I don't
pasta,
know
if you will.
I don't think this is not less than 2 weeks old. But we'll talk about the latest G1 blog, because I didn't think there would be much in this segment yet.
All right.
Uh,
So,
Let's,
if you don't know somehow, G1 is a blog server that's been going around for years now, comprised of some official dev data researchers and people who just want to volunteer to talk about matchups they like. So
yes, and
during the break,
the first one,
which is
was fucking
going to
July
be a way longer
2016.
break, and right now they are doing a string of matchups that are way more unorthodox.
I'm actually
And
curious.
the next one to enter this is Sakura versus Spider-Gwen, specifically Street Fighter Sakura, who is one
And
of the best
specifically
characters in the
Marvel
franchise.
Spider-Gwen.
Can we stop acting? as if there was anyone else. So first of all, can we stop acting like Sakura isn't one of the best characters in Street Fighter?
Oh, a lot of people already really like her. What are you on about?
I don't know. I don't know. I just get that sense that she's underrated, even if she's extremely overrated. No, she's underrated now.
If there's an underrated character in Street Fighter, it's like God, actually, everyone gets
Prob
pretty high ratings in general.
Rufus.
Okay, but a lot of people think he's silly.
He is silly. That's why he's funny.
I'm actually looking at the first G1 blog, not connected to anything, just out of curiosity for Meta Carolina. It's interesting how honestly kind of similar it is. There's obviously like differences in format, but there's a lot of similarities. I applaud the
I mean, like, if it
consistency.
ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I mean, I
So,
applaud the consistency. And also correctly
so
guessing that
what these
Carolina would win.
so what these blogs do, they're on Blogspot, and they go over weapons, armors, and skill just like anyone else would. While also directly citing as many sources as possible, going over the characters, and taking up a good bit of trivia too, which is always fun to do
Uh,
from a versus standpoint.
so my Wi-Fi died. I'm gonna be on my phone for a little bit because my Wi-Fi's been kind of awesome today.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I'm
Wi-Fi
sorry,
it.
I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Yeah, so
I
I'm
just
just gonna have to
I
deal with this.
the
You guys just said so. You guys literally just said so. Let's talk about that new blog. And it was just silence for like a solid minute. I was like, "Are we gonna talk about it?"
Anyway, so how it works, you got the character backgrounds, you got experience and skill, you got arsenal, you got abilities, you got forms, feats, and then eventually they'd go on to finish talking about basically anything you need to.
Yeah, that's how versus works, mate.
Yep, I was explaining it for the people who do not understand but somehow made it this far.
Imagine a versus
Yeah.
episode, but instead of an episode, you just read it. Okay, imagine
Mm-hmm.
reading. Reading is the act of noticing patterns in, like, a format that usually has a syntax, which is like the core way in which like a language works, and you will recognize these patterns to mean certain things. That is the cornerstone of reading, and that is what you need to learn and understand to be able to engage with the G1 fan blogs.
All right, so anyway, they added a little bit more extra stuff for both characters to make things a bit more interesting. So Spider-Gwen gets the Spider-Verse sub-series, while Sakura gets some additional media like Gem Fighter Mini-Mix and a couple of other spin-offs and snippets of the Udon comic without having to
Yeah.
scale things like
Yeah.
Darkstalkers, Marvel vs. Capcom, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of like the intention was kind of like to like examine it, basically to like explore like the other canons with like Spider Verse and other Street Fighter extended canon as well to just to basically see where like basically just mainly see like where Spider people would place, and Sakura was just kind of like on top of like just kind of like matching for a good matchup as well, but also like to see what the other extended media for Street Fighter would also place as well.
And to give her a scooter.
All
That's
right, so
important.
yes, the scooter and
Yeah.
umbrella are really important. Could
Yeah.
have done without
And
the
also
bunny suit.
And also, speaking of Sakura, I just got reminded of that one panel I sent you earlier with like that what Sakura
Yeah,
said to Dan. I don't know if we could show it on screen, but it's just like to give you an idea, and it's like that same one they had in like Dan versus Hercule, what Sakura said in that letter.
Oh,
all right. So
Yeah,
TLDR, Sakura was one of those people on Xbox Live, and I will not elaborate further.
I mean, I guess she's a high schooler, so maybe she just had an edgy face.
But yeah, this is a really fun blog, and it's telling me a little bit more on the matchup, which is really good because I've been looking for a Sakura matchup. Good one. I definitely recommend checking this out if you're interested in either character or franchise, honestly, because these are really good
Hmm.
things to bring to
Wait,
attention.
76 comments. Wait, hold on. Oh,
Oh,
damn, never mind.
oh boy, is it who I think it is?
it's our favorite. It's I mean him and I think another person. It's like it's just the one long string of a comment section. It's a lot. I did not
Well,
expect that to get so many.
well,
That's
let's not
that's
focus on
fine.
that. There's other blogs
Yeah,
to focus on right now.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
we kind of left Nemesis in the dust for this one. So
Oh,
oh wait, Hyper,
I'm
this is
currently
your
going
blog.
back
You
over the Sakura Gwen blog again. I'm reading through it.
all
okay.
right?
Okay, I
Hyper,
guess we can just like yeah. This is the one I want to put in, but I'll wait for Nemesis to finish. And also, if you're gonna put yours back in, you can do it now.
I'm wondering what to put on
um,
screen. I mean, I guess I am recording me just scrolling through it relatively fast. I'll just put that on screen.
And I guess like a thumbnail of from the blog too. I guess.
all right. So I'll put, I'll just link this over here in the little server here because it's not staying in the blog for whatever reason. But to be a little bit self-indulgent, I did pick my
just
own.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not.
Just wait until he's done.
All right.
Yeah,
So
we'll get
I'm
there.
hijacking.
Uh,
I'm hijacking. So this is a little snippet. I made my own character blog for Pit from Kid Icarus, and it's a little short but sweet one, going over all his weapons, arsenals, and abilities, and differentiating which ones need Palutena's help and which ones don't. And there are some arguments that I'm hoping to justify further, but they require translations, which, if you guys are good with translations, hit me up on Discord and we can talk things out there. But for the most part, this is done. Uh, most of the links direct back to the fan wiki that give the exact description of items and stuff. So if you want further elaboration, first, install Adblock. Second, go on the fandom that the thing links to if you need that clarification. And thirdly, make sure you have Adblock installed. That is really an important step of the process. And yeah, I don't really have much to say. You like it, Chris? Yes, Mr. Kitty. If you like it, Chris, you can check out the blog. If you don't check it out. Okay, I'm not your mom. And this is the part where Nemesis talks again.
Is this the part where you're gonna open that you support Galaxy level Pit?
Oh my God, I wanted to have some semblance of a career. I could survive
You know, if you
a little
support
bit,
that
and
and scale
now
Palutena, then Palutena wins Palutena versus Cthulhu, right? You do know that, right?
this is wonderful knowledge to have.
I mean, I already think the matchup is surprisingly close because like the feats that people scale Palutena to are already the same range as the one feat Cthulhu has.
My God,
It's
it happened again. So like,
Palutena is way faster, I think. But
okay,
that,
so I just want
that's
to mention.
really
I just want to mention really quickly. You Gumball, you said this is the part where Nemesis takes over, and then Nemesis said, "Okay, yeah, this is the part where I," and then I got immediately disconnected.
oh, you're such a funny individual, Hyperstar man.
this is the part where all right, Gumball, we can. He's not hearing it anymore now that I've said that. We can start slandering him.
Uh, my wife, I can't take this. Okay, but
the way you
I
cut out,
assume,
the way you
I
cut out,
assume,
dude.
Now this is the part where we talk about
I
Ness versus
assume.
Frisk.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. I thought. Okay, I did you not have any extra thoughts on the Gwen Sakura blog?
We were talking about how
I liked
We were
it.
talking about how Palutina
It's
from
a
Kid.
good blog. I still don't really care about the matchup though. Gonna be real.
Fair. Okay. Yeah. This. Okay. Yeah. Sure. This. No. Ness versus. This is a old one that actually came out last year ago and actually was being made around my birthday, coincidentally, which was pretty funny.
Happy birthday, Hyper.
This. I mean, it's been like almost a month. But yeah, this was
Hyper.
made last year by G1. This is one I personally pitched in because I just wanted to get a consensus on it because I know this is like one of like I think like the only matchup that researchers like disagree with ever, which I find extremely humorous and kind of surprising. But I worked on this, and I can tell you that those 2 weeks felt like decades.
Decade, like
But
a
I also
Kamen
had a lot
Rider.
of
Let's
fun working
go.
on it too, just like going through everything. I actually, what? What? This is Common Writer in here? What?
What are you saying? What about?
Please tell me I didn't cut out again. Okay.
Hyper.
Why don't you tell us, huh?
You just said Common Writer. I don't know what Common. I don't know if there's Common Writer in here.
Kamen Rider is a very large Japanese tokusatsu franchise, often directly compared to and connected with
Okay,
Super
oh my
Sentai, which America, your people, bastardized into what you call Power Rangers. Except they didn't
Alright,
start
so
with the first
okay,
one. They started
whatever.
with the T-Rexes and the dinosaurs. Even though only
Okay,
2 of
I
those
get
lords
it.
are based
I get
on
it.
non-avian
I get it.
dinosaurs.
I understand. I understand.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, Nemesis. So, real quick, can you actually hear Hyper or not? I need to make sure.
No, I can. I heard him say decades,
He's-
and I went, "Oh my god, the Kamen Rider decade." That was a joke, and then he stopped.
Oh my god. That's what. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, yeah, this was it was quite exhausting because Earthbound and Undertale sets are just kind of just hell to talk about.
I
I
remember
mean,
you
that's why
talking
it's so
about that.
contentious. Ooh. I mean, like, if you want to get an idea, the support section is like having the actual player be involved for both ends, which is kind of insane to think about, but I guess it makes sense there, so sure. And and a lot of the factors regarding and a lot of the factors regarding this is basically just kind of like up to interpretations, like well, you take certain manga feats for Ness, certain like statements for Ness as well, and certain feats and like visible like certain feats and like visible things for Frisk and how you interpret this and that, and it's basically just how you interpret it. And basically what seemed like the most convincing to each side, and it was a lot of yapping, but ultimately Frisk ended up winning. I remember, like, for a long time, people said that Ness just stopped and Frisk had no win cons. It was like Wall and Subsonic or whatever, and it was just kind of insane that it saying that it happened. It just can't really take the name Hypergunner seriously anymore.
Hyper just busts through the door, waggles his finger, and goes, actually.
But yeah, I would love to see this happen someday in a big way. I I put a lot of effort into pushing this for a while, and I would just be curious to see who they would side with at the end of the day. Me personally, I mean, like, I know what I use for my avatar and such, but I do ultimately think that I do ultimately. I ultimately do side Frisk in this sort of thing.
Cool. Is now what's the reason that this
Yeah.
is on in the video?
Oh, it's a good, but yeah, it's just a very detailed blog, and I'd recommend checking it out. I even made a script for it. Ooh.
Yep.
And also another reason, but I don't want to say it, but it relates to the matchup. Ooh. But yeah, yeah. It also did make me ultimately like try out Mother 3 eventually. And yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, that's all it was. Pretty good. Yeah, most people call one of the best RPGs ever made. Me, pretty good. It's alright. It's all like 6 out of 10. Yeah, it's alright. It's decent.
Mm-hmm.
So with the next two, do we want to talk about that now or save that for the end?
Okay, let's save it for the end. I think it's more thematically relevant there.
And thematics is all anyone cares about in this community. So let's move on to the most thematic thing to do with Versus, official ordeal, where we talk about official crossovers. I have seen nothing of this one. I just know that it's happening.
I have seen one of them.
You've seen one of them.
Good friends with. Yep. So, For those of you who have Netflix, first of all, my condolences. Secondly, they are doing a crossover event for a really popular matchup, actually.
Surprisingly enough, yeah.
Baki, Baki versus Oma, which is Baki versus King and Asura in terms of series pairing. They are hyping this up as a huge event, and recently was revealed it was going to be a 3v3. I don't remember the names of the other characters, but basically Baki versus Oma is still going to be the main event, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, this is one I'm really looking forward to. This is the best thing you can have happen to a matchup if Netflix doesn't fuck it up.
If it's actually good.
This is not. Imagine this is the equivalent to Nintendo saying, all right, we're going to have Mario and Sonic kill each other. But like, obviously not at that scale. But that's essentially what's happening here.
And when it's not out yet, is it? I don't think it is.
No,
Pretty
it's
sure
coming out
When
very
it is, we will
soon.
talk about it, and I will watch it, and I will go, wow, that's a lot of cool references I just don't get.
I will be sure to give it a good watch myself.
Mm-hmm. That's all we have here. This is probably going to be the least used fucking segment.
Unless we go over stuff that isn't time relevant, to pad out time. Hyper, you should say something, or did your Wi-Fi die?
I don't know anything about these characters. What am I supposed to say? I mean, it's cool that like I know that this is a matchup thing and it's officially happening, but like I don't know anything about them.
Alright, then instead, I will ask you a question. Do you know how to escape this tetrahedron?
Maybe.
He does not. This is one aspect that where
did you just hit him with the does he know?
apparently I did. Hyper, you will never be Che Guevara.
Cool.
I'm going to throw so many Baki references at you. I'm going to throw so many Baki references at you.
Why'd you say that twice?
See how many you catch on. I keep cutting out now. I'm trying to watch my volume.
Why did you say it twice?
Alright. Because I'm trying to watch my volume, make sure I don't cut out.
You can still say things once.
Potentially. Okay. And now the last one that we have listed for today.
This is where we talk about a matchup, and what matchups we talk about, you tell us down below. And we asked, and then we realized, actually, no, we didn't, because who's gonna fucking listen? So we're talking about Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else take
The tank engine.
Someone else.
Thomas the tank engine.
Yes, Thomas the tank engine versus Wiley, the doctor.
Dr. Wiley.
Now, I've not scaled Thomas personally, but I know that he has a lot of hacks. I don't think I've seen any stats that really can match up to what Wiley has, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, first of all, he's a goddamn train. I feel like if a man was run over by a train...
Well, Wiley's not just going to be standing there outside of any sort of protective shell.
Yeah, of course he's not. He's going to be on the tracks, begging and pleading. But it's going to fall on deaf ears.
What ears?
Exactly.
Thomas has face but no ears.
A mouth, but no mouth, but he must scream.
Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. Here's what we're actually talking about.
I was hoping that we... Oh well. Tomcat versus Wile E. Coyote, famously known for winning the Tournament of Champions.
which was an ordeal that we will not talk about. So we're just gonna go into the matchup, which hopefully is definitely going to happen now. But I feel like there was always a chance that like if Death Battle had to rebrand, they would have put this into the first season of whatever new thing they did.
So, these were two blogs that I set up because I didn't want the G1 team to not have the ability to do the blog without retracing steps. So rather than a versus blog, I just wanted to do a little character blog for each of them. And this is the end result. So these are... So I will try to rep Tom to the best of my ability.
Well, no, I mean,
and
I don't
when
know
you guys
I
can
don't know
vote.
either of these guys well enough. People should know by now
Me
that
either.
there is a popular cartoon. I've probably not seen it, and if there is a cartoon that no one's heard of, I probably have.
You'll rank all the Barbie. No, I don't think you revealed that yet. You'll rank all the Hasbro movies. You'll rank all the Pokemon movies.
I mean,
But when are you gonna rank all the Tom and Jerry movies?
I think I did put Barbie as an option on my vote, on my poll, but Dragon Ball came out ahead, and Lego came out even more ahead. So
Well, first of all, good on your audience.
Like all 50
Good on your
Lego
audience for
movies.
having taste.
Yeah, they don't know what they're getting into. They're gonna they're gonna expect maybe like 9 movies, the 4 Lego movies, the 4 Bionicle films, and Clutch Powers. It's not gonna be just 9, guys. It's not just 9 of them. Don't worry. There's a little more.
I'm expecting like the gap in quality between like say number 6 and 5 to be catastrophic.
What do you think is going to be?
I make that discretion. Something Lego City. I don't know why. I just got a hunch.
Is there a dedicated Lego City movie?
There has to be, right? You can't just do an entire Lego City series and not have a...
You can. Now, if I ranked every Lego game,
anyway,
then I would have trouble with Undercover, and I'd rank that. But
so anyway, Tom and Jerry,
and Wiley
right?
Coity.
I like Tom and Jerry. That's a pretty good show.
So, from our limited knowledge, before getting into the blogs, which because I want to incentivize people to read them as well. From what I remember firsthand.
Oh, by the way, all blogs will be linked.
Wiley, along with Sun Mel's thing.
Yeah, along with Sun Miller's thing.
So, Tom, this is something I discovered on my own. Tom cannot die. At least if he does, he has the ability to not stay dead.
He gets killed, he just goes, I disagree personally. He just comes back.
So the method of it is really funny. So first of all, Tom goes to hell. And that's canonical, no matter what happens. Heavenly Puss, even though it was a dream sequence. Yeah, that's basically foreshadowing. He's gonna go to hell. But when Tom dies, he has the ability to gather his lost lives, put them back into himself, and then just negate his own death. This is because this is a unique gameplay mechanic for Tom and Jerry Game Boy Advance game. Isn't that fun?
Is it not?
I don't know. I could check its game rating.
What do you mean? Not talk experience talking.
By first-hand experience, I mean I watched a YouTube video about it.
Wow. I'm reading through the blog
I'm a
what
trooper,
Wiley has right now. What do you mean? What do you mean? There's a kaiju Wiley form?
Let's see. Well, now we know who wins the moral victory in your eye.
Well, not necessarily. There could be a wild. There could be a. It could be a kaiju Tom form. Let me look at Tom because that's what we're actually talking about. Actually, oh, you're talking about because you're
All
taking
right,
the reins on this one.
so another one. This is more so a feat, but a funny one. Tom can do the Kamehameha if he's supercharged up on energy or electricity. He can redirect it through his hands to fire Kamehameha, and he did that to get rid of a meteor of sheaves. I remember reading the calculus in the past, but I do not remember the end result. But I'm just going to take a safe guess and say I got around the city block of city range.
That's a pretty big range.
Meteors can be pretty big, Nemesis. Good observation.
They can also be bigger than that, but yes.
They could, but this was made of cheese. So the material probably isn't anywhere near as dense.
You have not talked to a cheese before, if you think that.
I talked to the cheese that stands alone.
He probably didn't say much back.
He did not. He just stood there. He wasn't very friendly at all.
God, lot of jobs these guys have. What do you mean,
Yeah.
Peter Associate?
I guess.
I'm just gonna ignore that.
I mean, like, given how Tom treats mice, that's pretty accurate. So there's a lot of things Tom does. And without getting too descriptive, the biggest thing that I knew about Tom and Jerry was that they had a gotcha game. And there were several wallpapers for it, and they all looked fucking insane.
Yeah, I'm noticing that.
And
they
I
kind
needed
of go hard for.
I needed to understand what the fuck
Fucking
was going
Tom
on.
Jerry.
And that was the biggest thing. That was the main reason I wanted these blogs now and not waiting until the episode came around, because I needed to fucking know
You
what the
should make
deal
these
was with
blogs
this gotcha
now.
game. I am so happy that I understand at least a little bit more as to what's going on. I understand very little still, but I'm happy that we got some information out of this because this is so fucking funny.
Now, you can't just put down that he has a magic wish granting genie and then just, like, not elaborate.
He can't talk, or at least he doesn't a lot of the time.
That is okay. No, that's pretty funny. The idea this guy has a genie that is borderline omnipotent, but he can't use him because he's mute. Don't speak.
Tom it's like Tom can talk, but it's more so like, Red from Pokemon, words are unnecessary.
I mean, yeah, Red talks like once in his, or he talks a couple times in the original game, but it's all only told you because of the mimic.
It's really funny to me. Like, after he has this whole silence, this golden thing, and then in Pokemon Masters, he just says, words are unnecessary. And whatever causes Red to speak is like a legitimate fucking threat.
I just imagine, like, Red never speaks, then someone
that's
does
just-
something so stupid that he just goes, what the fuck? That's all he's got.
That's good character design.
Ghost trapping equipment, huh?
Mm-hmm. Tom has a lot. He is a hunter, and that means that he has a lot of shit to work with. Like
Yes,
Wiley
currently
in that
scrolling-
regard.
Currently scrolling through on screen, but kind of quickly. I can read fast, you probably can't. So you're gonna have to go look at the blog to read at your own pace.
There is
Yeah.
so much.
Lightsaber.
just say things nonchalantly to grab people's attention to make sure they're paying attention. Oh, and they got the multiverses moveset here.
Yeah. Yes, I did see that. Fist ship. Brilliant.
AK-47.
Vacuum cleaner.
You always need.
Laser mouse trap. What the fuck
Shotgun.
is the point of a laser mouse trap?
I don't know. I think the board game's pretty exciting as is.
Pet dinosaurs.
Banana boots. Volleyball launcher. Those look more like medicine balls.
Sledgehammer, yeah, that's so useful now. Garlic!
Experimental growth milk.
Rocks! The Tommy gun, okay, I like that.
Tom and Jerry content. They have their own. They can shield themselves as a distraction. That's fucking funny.
That's brilliant. You know that would work too. Tobor, now that is creative.
It
You know,
would.
that's such a subtle joke. I don't think anyone would understand Tobor. You know. Acme safe. Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's Wiley's
All right.
weakness.
A
This is where you want to talk about feats
couple
now?
of sure, a couple feeds, and then we can move on to Wiley because I don't want to spoil everything. So we got some abilities here.
Oh, yeah,
Obviously you got rubber hose, you got pain tolerance. Loud sound, that's so funny. Transmutation.
You know, you're supposed to sound excited,
Duplication.
right? Like having fun. This is supposed to be the part where you're having fun.
I'm having fun. It's just, again, I can't be too loud. I'm just reading up.
I can sound fun without being too loud. I can sound like I'm having a good time, you know, like I'm enjoying myself as it is. Elephant.
Yeah.
Cat food. Put a purr in pussy. Have a contented cat.
And immortality resurrection. This is what I'm talking. This is the main gimmick that they're talking about.
Yep, that's
2-minute timer to grab extra life. Other souls usually he has to grab his other souls before a double catches it, and he doesn't have to worry about that timeline anymore because he killed Satan at the end of the game.
holy shit. Tom
What is it with
Spawn.
what is there is a pattern of Hanna-Barbera characters killing Satan.
You know,
I like that.
Satan must be like the weakest character in fiction because everyone kicks the crap out of him.
In terms of Christian mythology, he is like the main obstacle to
Okay.
overcome in a good majority. I'm not gonna say mythology, but like in my religion, I'm fine talking about it.
I was just confused
But
by the word
basically,
mythology.
Satan. I'm not going to call it that. That was a slip of the tongue. But as a Christian, I can verify. Satan is the big obstacle, and he is kind of a jobber for most of the people who in Christianity. That is the kind of the point. You overcome the dark desires. You overcome Satan, things he represents. So it's really based that Hanna-Barbera can do it a lot too.
As a expert on Arthuriana, I can confirm that there is a character in the stories of King Arthur who is just immune to Satan because he's really nice. Satan that comes up to him and is like, "Oh shit! Oh shit! This guy's like a good guy." What do you mean he's got like 7 angels around him? I can't take on 7 angels. I'll just get folded, bro.
Love Jesus.
Those
Love thy
angels would be
neighbor.
like
Watch Tom.
7 Arkham Batmans, and I'm gonna be the one goon that goes, "Batman!"
Love thy neighbor. Love Jesus. Watch Tom and Jerry. You're set.
That's how that works. What do you mean Tom is a
Yeah.
chicken? Okay, I feel like regeneration being so big, I feel like is notable. Hold on. What do you mean the audience?
Oh, that's
okay. The audience can do something. That's neat.
Oh, that's fate manipulation. That's fate manipulation of my comfort character.
Well, imagine that Deathbell put out a like poll. Would you bring Tom back to life if he was fighting Wily and died? And they used the result of that to determine the winner. Like, oh yeah, they said they would. All right, Wily can't do anything about that.
No, it's another 50-50 like Scooby versus Courage.
And they're like, ah, shit. Now what?
Only half of Tom comes back. Like split down the middle.
Just half of Tom. It's not
Just a
Tom
watching a
now
walking
it's the
bisect.
pro
Actually, no, just like the lower half of Tom's body just kicks Wiley in the dick and he starts emoting, but you can only see the legs.
Werewolf? Wait, that's not how that works. No, it's not werecat either, it's wolf cat.
And now we go on to the forums, which I will not elaborate on. I think that's the big highlight of the blog, because the gacha
Yeah, if you
game
want
is
to
a
see
fucking
it,
trip.
read it.
Yep.
Okay.
Something I never do.
There is a lot here that I
Time to
wasn't
move on.
expecting. Good job, by the way, on these.
Okay,
Alright.
I do read blogs, by the way. I do read the blogs, by the way. They're good.
I was just congratulating him. Don't talk over me!
Sorry. I didn't even say anything on the matchup, by the way, or the debate at all. I don't really know any. I mean, I do know them. I just don't know anything about it debate-wise, like, at all.
Matchup's cool. I like it well enough. I wonder if they're more dangerous to each other or to themselves. I'm not sure.
The YLE blog actually talks about this a good bit. So how about we dive into that? And from what our limited knowledge of the blog is, we can debate a little bit. Because again, I don't want to spoil everything. We have a description for a reason.
You know what's gonna be really funny is people are gonna see certain things, and they're gonna go, "What the hell?" on screen. And they're gonna go back and pause to look at them. They're gonna have no context because I'm scrolling so fast, because I'm speeding through it while I'm able to.
This is a test.
You are being tested.
tested.
On how big are the heavens, and just leave it on that. Back to Wiley. Time gun. Let's go, bro. Best kind of gun.
All right, so Wiley Coyote.
Oh my god, he's got.
I'm gonna talk about a couple. All right, I want to talk about a couple of things prior to getting into the blog. There is one big argument that I have seen tossed around for Wiley, and that's because of the Tiny Toons reboot, which I bet you guys didn't even know happened.
I know of it.
But
does that count?
There is a serum in Tiny Toons where, if consumed, Toon Force is negated. That means if you're flattened by an ant.
I've heard people bring that up.
All right, to elaborate, this doesn't mean you would die if you're hit by something, but more so, if you were flattened by an anvil, you're not coming back up. You're gonna stay flat as a pancake. There's no screen wipe there to save you. And this is interesting because Toon Force isn't just like a force in Looney Tunes. It's something that is scientifically explained that every Looney Tunes character is capable of basically just about anything. Which means that whatever Toon Force is performed in the series, Wiley is capable of. Isn't that terrifying? I think it is.
I'm sorry, I just saw Green Lantern ring and I just had to stop and just...
Wait, he has that? Oh, he does have that. Okay, cool. I know who I definitely... I mean, I already rooted Tom, but like I
gotta take the moral victory on Tom here.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Oh, when Daffy has one, it's funny. But if Wiley gets one...
Well, Daffy did something with it.
Why is he dressed like Alucard?
I just wish that every crossover with DC didn't have to have a character get a fucking lantern ring of some assortment.
All right. Anyway.
Yes, the anti-Toon Force juice.
Yep. So this is something that he ordered. I don't know if this was Acme actually, but that is the big thing. Acme. The movie that David Zaslav wants you to believe never happened. The big company that he orders stuff from, the one that Roadrunner owns, that was just a theory that was flat out confirmed.
Wait, really?
So that's funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think that was like a huge point. That was a huge point of Coyote versus Acme. Roadrunner owned the company.
That's a power move, to be honest. He personally signed off on all the
But
things that Wiley uses against him. That is an alpha dog move.
and I have seen a couple of videos explaining the guidelines that Mel Blanc or other characters have set for the Roadrunner cartoons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And against Roadrunner specifically, Wile E is not allowed to talk. He cannot catch the Roadrunner, obviously, although that rule was technically broken a good bit of times. And
You say that
Roadrunner
like the rule of
cannot
him not talking
physically.
hasn't been broken.
No, specifically against Roadrunner.
Oh. He's also
Right.
got a fucking genie. Of course he does.
And the Roadrunner cannot physically harm Wily. That is a rule I find very interesting. The failures either come from him getting jump scared by Roadrunner, his machine backfiring, or his own hubris, which the blog will expand on. And I guess I can share that snippet because it's been shared around already. But I don't want to share everything, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
He's been a food vendor once.
Whoa!
All right, let's stop. Let's stop there. All right.
So I guess now
This
it's
is more
up
so
to...
talking about.
Is it up to me as someone not on the blog to put insight on who I think wins because you two can't? Is that what's going on here?
No, I'm still going through the blog a bit. Oh,
I don't
well,
care. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I have found the DC stuff. Womp womp.
Hyper was voting for Sands versus Judge, so you know.
All right, so he has satellite lasers, material makers, shrink rays, a bunch of robot assistants, bumblebees.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, his feet section sucks. Not in terms of like it's bad, it's good, but in terms of like his feats, I'm not impressed.
it's Wile E.
Okay,
Coyote. Were you
well, okay,
expecting?
one of those is slightly. There's one thing that's like slightly impressive he did, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, not
It's kind of.
not only does he has a genie and a fairy godmother.
Oh. Oh my god. Okay, I read like
Uh,
one down to the scaling segment. Oh my god.
Wait, let me
This
see this.
just makes me happy as to how much the DC scaling doesn't matter. I mean, it is above some of this anyway, but it's not necessary, and that makes me happy. Oh my fucking god!
Is the matchup good now?
It is better now that the DC scaling is entirely irrelevant and doesn't add anything. I mean, it technically could put them higher, but like that's for losers and lamos.
There's a
Oh
lot
my,
of
oh
there's a
my
lot of leagues.
god. Tea
There's a lot
Tanks
of
go? No, I don't want him to win.
No, fucking ignore that, you numpty.
I don't care.
Hyper. We can't spoil the best parts of the blog. Come on.
This might as
Don't
well
talk
stand.
to me.
Oh,
There's a lot of video game stuff labeled here. And yep, more magic. If there is something I want to say, I think that the way that the Wile E blog is structured is I prefer Tom's structure. I'll just say that.
oh,
It feels like he's repeating him. It feels like there's a lot of pointless stuff in here, and that and that Wile E repeats its sections for some reason. So I'll let the people behind it know if they want to edit that or not.
Well, that's that. So, we should have asked Hyper how much he cares about the matchup before we decided this would be the one we talk about.
Yeah, I have noticed that in hindsight, but this isn't about him. This is about the Tournament of Champions.
Yeah, screw Hyper.
This is
He's
Yeah.
only like one of us.
Yeah,
Here.
yeah.
Who cares about
yeah,
Hyper
Tournament of
Starman?
Champions.
He voted for the number 2.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. I don't care.
Now
It's
Hyper
that,
knows
or
how
I-
Now Hyper knows how the others felt when Alex Cole won.
I mean, honestly, I didn't go as hard on it as the last one because, like, I mean, it's like I can wait for that. I did not want to wait for that. I don't care. I buried the competition. I destroyed it. I made them cry and suffer. And this is a joke. Don't take this
Yeah,
seriously.
because if you put that video up on any other channel, it would have gotten no response.
Yeah. But no, like it's like, but no, it's like yeah, they got their dub. Like and like,
I
anyway,
can't wait.
everything got
to
Wiley
eventually
kind of
put
everything Wiley
into
kind
a
of went through is
fucking-
like I kind of felt bad for him, so it's like why not?
All right, so
That what were you gonna say to him?
I was gonna say I can't wait for us to put Ruby versus Marker on one of these videos.
Man, I can't wait for the very complex and hard debate on that one. Ooh.
I get some music.
all
You
right,
could-
so
you could
there is
argue
one thing
that,
I'll talk about.
My abridged Ruby would be a closer matchup against Marker. That's amusing to me. I don't know why. So I wasn't the person who thought. Someone else brought that up, and I was just thinking, you didn't need to bring that up. You know that was not necessary to say.
I think it's really funny. Once cross-tag enters the equation, there is no more debate. It's just that it goes the other way because Ragna and Hakumen are placed. Ragna and Hakumen are placed in an infinite void to duke it out in, and they just broke it off screen.
Yeah, but I
Funny.
I wouldn't scale them directly to that in power.
What if I just wanted to be rude and do it anyway?
No, I think that like the fact that Persona is right fucking there.
Yeah, that helps.
That's like slightly more
I
important.
I always I always love those Ruby DC crossover, and it's like, oh my god, bros, Ruby scales to DC.
Nothing happens.
I'm actually looking. What crossovers does Soul Leader have? Wow.
Yes, Nemesis, would you like to share something to the class?
There's nothing. It's
Okay.
nothing.
Anyway,
The crossover
Wile E.
scaler
Coyote.
is mine. Why does crossover wiki say that Death Battle used Charon from Soul Eater? That's not. That's wrong.
Unprofessional.
For shame.
All right, real quick, I want to read this one section, word for word, because I think it's a good point to make. Isn't Wile E always designed to fail? That is a question I see a lot of people ask. This is a pretty common thing that's been thrown around as well, and the short answer is, again, no. There is not a single direct statement of Wile being designed to lose, especially when there are many instances he actually has been able to outwit not just the Roadrunner, but other teams as well. So it's nothing more than a head. So it's nothing more than a headcanon. The only thing that's been found are the rules of the Roadrunner shorts, which shouldn't even be considered as these rules have been broken many times. But nothing in these rules indicate that Wile is not allowed to win a fight.
Okay, how much longer are we gonna try this out, by the way?
Well, I guess
We're
that would be
nearing-
the
we're
debate
nearing
portion.
The end here, so not that much longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can go to bed.
So, seeing how this bet is more important than us.
Yeah, I see how it is, Hyper. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, you do see how it is. And
Mm-hmm.
I can hear a
So
vibe
anyway,
in there. Just...
so let's debate a little bit. So, from the little snippets that we're going to explain, Tom and Wiley, for lack of a better analogy, have a lot of stuff,
That was an
and
analogy.
most of the time, not particularly. I have a lack of one.
You said lack of a better, didn't you?
I don't have any. I lost the ball in the accident.
Just like
But
Hyper forced his
anyway, they
patience
have a
putting
lot.
up with you, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just how blunt it was. But
I'm done with you, Gumball.
yeah. Oh, that sucks. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that they can throw at each other, and most of it really just kind of bounces off because it's either they can counter each other, or that one specific area really doesn't matter. They already got.
Yes.
They have so many weapons, and so many of them literally do not matter. So ultimately, I think it's more so an abilities kind of thing.
You really just look at how you can kill them and who can do that.
And as surprising as it is to say, this is off of first-hand knowledge, I don't think Wiley has ever really died, like, at all.
Good
And
for
one
you.
of the most impressive things is that
I
we
mean,
know that
that's
Tom can come
impressive. That's
back
pretty
from
good,
dying.
because I don't think any of us have either, so...
Well, Tom has.
But he's just
That's
built
the
worse.
thing. Tom can be killed. And Wiley Wiley is more book smart.
I mean, remember
Tom,
that one episode where Tom went to heaven because he got smashed by a table?
all right, first of all, smashed by a piano. Secondly,
Oh
he
yeah,
went to
piano, right?
hell. Secondly, he went to hell.
Don't be so mean. What if in his mind that's what you call a piano in his culture?
Fuck
Yeah,
his
but no, like
culture.
there's like that. Yeah, no, but
But first of all, that was a dream sequence. Secondly, that ended with him going to hell. That's what the entire Game Boy Advance game is based off of, where he would go on to kill Satan. Keep up, Hyper.
yeah, I'm totally keeping up.
Hyper, would you be more or less
So,
excited if we did Frisk versus Ness at one of these?
If it was like an actual episode, then yes. It's just like I don't. It's like there's like so much media behind it. It's like I can't really like keep up with all that. And it's like I mean, like I like Tom. I like him as well as a character. I think it's fun, and Wiley seems fun. But it's just like Tune Force stuff. It's like that, and they have so much history. It's like I don't know what I'm supposed to say about
Hyper
that.
just walked up to them and went, "You're not worth it." Just left it at that.
But
They just stared at him. They went, "Hyper, well, what are you saying?" And he just doubled down. "You're not worth it."
so anyway, TLDR, from my stance here, then I'll let Nemesis have his say. Tom has died, Wiley hasn't. They can both do a lot of stuff. And the stuff that they scale to could edge out to be the same thing, no matter how much higher it scales. That probably doesn't change the fact that, again, only one of them has shown to be able to actually die. And I know that's a really casual take on it, but I don't want to just spoil what the blog offers.
yeah, no, it's like that one episode in the piano, obviously, because he's just piano level, and
The question.
I hope he.
Question would just be: is there any
I
way
hope
Tom could kill Wiley that Wiley's never been shown to survive? Because
it's not just it's not just Wiley. You would have to consider, again, Toon Force is a basic health
anyways,
autonomy. Okay.
Is there any way Tom could kill someone that cannot be proven to be ineffective on I mean, I don't imagine Tom goes around murdering people often, but is there any way Tom could hypothetically kill someone that is not provenly incapable of killing Willie?
He could talk like he did in the movie.
Well, the Wiley can just talk back at him. Then no one's happy.
Oh,
Everyone's just uncomfortable. Everyone's just like, ugh, I don't
yeah.
like that much.
That's how they draw it out. They both lose.
I mean, Death Battle could decide this is a draw.
That would be very lame.
Yeah.
Because it would just basically, because like I do want to talk about this, like because like if it was like is basically like a draw, basically then if it was like a draw, basically it would kind of just lead to this sort of precedent that, oh man, Team Force characters can never kill each other and blah blah, they're like unstoppable or whatever. So I'm kind of hoping it isn't.
I want someone to die. I don't care who it is. Doesn't matter to me. But if I don't see a corpse, or even a lack thereof, nothing left. If I see two living beings at the end of this animation, I am going to be upset.
All right, Eustace, you got a job to do. Going for round
this
2.
Smile that I haven't got, I'll have even less of one. Okay?
He says wearing a pumpkin mask.
But you can't tell if that mask is smiling or not.
I have seen it in the videos. I can quite literally prove it.
You can't. You need to look in person to tell whether it's smiling or not.
I have never considered the possibility of you having an.
I do provably have two masks. You know, there's two of them. I have used them both at the same time in a video. I just think if Tom has no way to kill Wiley, and Wiley can just decide, no, you can die now, then Wiley wins. Though I'd find it much more entertaining if Tom accidentally killed himself instead of Wiley actually doing it. That was not like a comment you go silent on.
It's I'm sorry. I'm focusing on the blog again because this is really entertaining stuff. But yeah.
We'll talk about that when the blog comes out.
Correct.
Whenever that is. Hyper, do you know when that is?
I am hesitating again. It should be noted that I've been told by the people running it that Tom's blog is not yet complete. There's some more medias that they want to go through, source or whatever. So that is something to be noted as well.
Alright, well, I think that would be a wrap to the first installment of this podcast, which started off chipper, ended with Hyper borderline on the verge of collapsing from exhaustion and boredom, and left us on the note that we have no idea who wins, to be honest, because Tom's isn't finished, and he's the one he's not in the leading chair, which is the problem.
I think we're not good at debating. No,
I can debate if I need to.
Well, I guess we just didn't need to this time.
No, it's not a debate because we all know that Thomas is going to die.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So
I do
this
think
is the part where
you focus on the stats probably though, because like if you can just vape the other guy, but they can just unvape themselves, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you're 10 DC gods.
There's only one solution left. We gotta kill hell itself.
That should be pretty easy.
Puts on the Chief Slayer track.
Alright, so you guys want to say Let's try that again. You guys want to say goodbye?
So yeah, this has been Biffweed. I have run over people vehicularly, and I hope you guys enjoy Tai versus Tai.
Who's and ha ha ha.
All right, goodbye, everyone. If everything goes right, this will be coming out like once every 2 weeks. And I'm going to say that instead of the word that sums up what 2 weeks is, because I don't trust any of you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.